Noam Chomsky, very popular with many. Not a fan myself, personally. I think he has a tendency to be dismissive of others when they offer views counter to his own. And I think he has a tendency to ramble on and on and on. I see him and listen to him do this. My impression is, here is a man who enjoys the sound of his own voice. Clearly, though, a man of huge intelligence, anyone of his intelligence and obvious high level of education is worth listening to. Like any human being, though, however well educated, he is just a fallible man subject to the same forces, the same biases as the rest of us, of course. It's my understanding that Mr. Chomsky is an anarcho-syndicalist, which is one school of anarchist thought. What one might call revolutionary trade unionism, I suppose. It's a movement seeking to abolish the wage system, liberate us all from wage slavery. Doesn't that sound good? Having looked into this ideology and listened to those who have identified as anarcho-syndicalists, I've read some Rudolf Rocker, among others. Yeah, it's a pretty narrow worldview, and it's starting to look fairly outdated, actually. Interesting history the movement has, though. Yeah. Here's an interesting Chomsky quote. Rational discussion is useful only when there is a significant base of shared assumptions. Well, no. Two people of different backgrounds can get together, rationally engage, talk, get to know each other. The two may well hold very different sets of truths. They may have very little in common when it comes to politics, religion, economic philosophy, but both might find the discussion to be genuinely enlightening. Things can be learned, and what is learned can be carried forward into practical purposes, can it not? He does make some good points, though, about the huge concentrations of wealth that exist in our world. I'm not the first person to say this, but I'm of the view that Chomsky is overrated. Overrated in what way? As a linguist? No, as a political thinker, political commentator, as a public speaker. As I said, he does make good points, but he also labours the point quite frequently, I've observed. Yeah. He must be in his mid-80s now, right? I can recall someone once suggesting to me to read one of his books, saying, "This will blow your mind, man. Change the way you see the world radically." Yeah, well, I read it. It didn't blow my mind. Some of it was alright, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever read, but it failed to radically alter my worldview. Noam Chomsky says, this is a quote, "The United States is afraid of China." Well, I agree with him there. Chomsky continues, "It is not a military threat to anyone, and is the least aggressive of all the major military powers." He's talking about China. Yeah, questionable statement. Chinese military aggression in the South China Sea has been documented over the past few years, as well as incursions into Japanese territory. Multiple incursions. I would think that leaders and governments of quite a few Southeast Asian nations would flatly disagree with Chomsky when he says that China is not a military threat to anyone. Yeah, but having said that, compared with US military aggression, Chinese aggression isn't anywhere near on the same level. But anyway, yeah, to sum up, not a fan of Chomsky, regard him as overrated, and he's perhaps a bit conceited, as some intellectuals do become, yeah. But let me know your own views on Chomsky if you want, maybe you disagree with me. Yeah, feel free to use the comment section. I'm gonna continue on my little walk. Wherever you are, folks, have a lovely day.